Welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back at you guys with another MLB PrizePicks video for April the 15th. And I have two picks for you guys. One starts at 4:10, the other one starts at 2:10 East Coast time. First one is Jonathan India over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. The next one is Andrew Benintendi over 6.5 hitter fantasy score. Let's start off with, as I always do, the weather. So the weather is great weather in Cincinnati for the Phillies and Cincinnati Reds game. So that has great home run potential and run potential. So for potential for runs to be scored. Also, the other game that we're targeting is let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's right below it. So the guaranteed rate field in Baltimore and Chicago White Sox. So this has a good potential for just singles in this matchup. So let's look at lineup. So the two players that I have. So first one, which is the earlier start time, is Andrew Benintendi. So he pretty much is the leadoff hitter for the time being because of their star player Tim Anderson being hurt. So he does all the leadoff duties when they verse a righty. So he is a leadoff hitter, and then also he has really good protection behind him with Luis Robert, Vaughn, Jimenez, Grandal. So he has really good protection behind him to be able to knock him in if he was to get on base via a walk or a hit or hit by pitch or anything of that nature. So I really like him in this spot. And then also looking at the Ballpark Pal, they have a matchup machine. So you basically put the batter in versus the pitcher, and they tell you like their advantages that they have. So as you can see, this is a 42% worse matchup for Kyle Gibson and 46% worse matchup for him. But Benintendi has the advantage over Gibson. He has home run advantage as well as walk advantage as well. So, and then also he is a better he's better against righties than lefties, Gibson. So as you can see, I can pull up his split. So as you can see right here, against lefties, and since 2021, he has given up a batting average of 262. This year so far, small sample size, and 34 batters faced, he's given up 333 batting average. And then last year, 258 and then 259. So he has pretty drastic splits against lefties versus righties. So I want to kind of target him with the lefty. Gibson, he does a good job of not really walking a lot of people. He has a really good K to walk ratio, which is 3. He does, walk probably 2 batters a game, and he gets 5 strikeouts a game. I don't know how he gets 5 strikeouts a game based on just his metrics. Like if you look here, this year he's in the 25th percentile and in K percentage and expected batting average. He is in the 32nd percentile, which is really bad. But his fastball is not a good fastball. He's not, he doesn't throw it pretty hard. He gets hit pretty hard. He's like middle to pack. So his exit velocity is bad. So he doesn't really allow a lot of he doesn't really get a lot of strikeouts. So that also bodes well for putting the ball in play. As you can see, the last time he faced the A's, which is the worst team in baseball, gave up 5 hits in 6 innings, 6 in the 3rd inning. So I really think that that the White Sox should be able to get to him, and Benintendi, he should be able to get on base at least once or twice in this matchup. And we can kind of look at his advanced split. He's actually, let's see, where is he? He's right here. So he's actually a good K percentage. Like he doesn't strike out a lot, so that should be key in this matchup as well. But as I stated, the biggest thing I like the most is his ability to not strike out and be able to at least try to put the ball in play in his 4 at-bats that he has. So I really like him in this matchup. Benintendi. Next up is Jonathan India, and he is going up against Matt Strahm. So Matt Strahm is pretty much a fastball, slider, sinker, but majority fastball, sinker, and he throws his curveball. That's like his breaking pitch pretty much that he uses, even though it's 13%. And one thing I took a look at is like when he's in 0-2 count, that tells you a lot. of what they throw in 0-2 count, because that's basically their put away pitch. And as you can see, he has a lower put away percentage on his curveball as opposed to his fastball. His fastball is his put away pitch, so he gets strikeouts 50% of the time that he throws his fastball against righties in an 0-2 count, as opposed to 25%. And looking at India's like advanced metrics, and this is just to righties too, which is India. He's a righty, so looking at his advanced run value metrics, is he hits the fastball really, really well. He's batting 400 against the fastball, batting 286 against the sinker this year, and then against the curveball, he's batting 333, which is higher than his average of last year. So it may even out over the course of the season. Like last year, he was batting against the curveball 192, which is crazy, and then against the fastball 310, and then 290 against the sinker. So if he throws them predominant, if he gets ahead in the count and force him to throw his fastball or his sinker, he should be able to get on base or be able to at least make contact and put the ball in play. All we're asking for is him to put the ball in play. He has stolen base potential as well. And one thing that stood out to me the most about India, who was one of my, well, I'll just say it right off the bat, he's one of my favorite plays for today, just based on his consistency. Like, he's only not had a hit in 3 games out of the 13 games that they played this year, and he's gotten 2 or more 4 times this year. Has stolen base potential, stole 3 bags this year. Strom is more of a glorified reliever that was forced into a starter role due to the Phillies having a lot of injuries through Suarez and Andrew Painter, their top prospect. So, and then also he scores runs. So he has 3 games where he hasn't scored a run, and then he draws walks. He had about 7 games where he's got at least a walk. So doesn't strike out a lot. As you can see, he struck out twice, only 2 games this year. Once is okay because you have a minimum of 4 at bats, but seems like when he's been playing, he's been getting at least close to 4 at bats. He's only had 3 games where he's had 3 at bats. So I really like them to be able to go through the order a lot in this matchup as well. So I really like him, and I like Andrew Benintendi. Another thing that you guys can look into, because I know they're just starting to add stuff to the board now. Let's look. They don't have Gibson up here for hits allowed, but one thing I did see that stood out was this guy Roman Urias. I would take his under hits and runs, because let's see where he's batting at in this order. So yeah, he's batting at the bottom of the order. So unless let's say Hayes or Frazier gets in scoring position to be able to score him, I don't think he has too much potential to get on base and get scored. Now, he could get on base, and let's say Mateo or it rolls over to the top of the lineup and it has Mullins, Rutschman, and Mountcastle where he can score that way. But I just don't see him getting a hit and scoring unless it's just a high-scoring game. Even though the total is at 9, I just like the under in that spot. Another thing, too, before I go, point this out to you guys, too. Be very mindful of these really, really high hitter fantasy scores, like these 8.5s and 9.5s. I know a couple days ago we hit the Goldschmidt at 9.5, but that was based on the park factor because he played in core, so the ball tends to carry there, and you can get a lot of doubles and home runs off of just really hardly hit line drives. So just be aware, he's at 8.5 today. You have my favorite under candidate I love taking this year is Aaron Judge's unders, because if he doesn't hit a home run, he's pretty much useless. I think he's one of the most overrated players in baseball. Just my opinion, because if you don't hit the home run, you don't provide anything else for your team. In his case, now he may have a game where he hit a couple singles or he gets a random double here or there, but most of his at-bats are pretty much unproductive. So I like his unders this year, as well as Jose Ramirez. But I just feel like sooner or later he's going to turn it around and start getting into his groove of really crushing the ball. Let's see, there's no more high under. Well, I like Ohtani in this matchup too as well. He has a really good matchup. One thing though that I seen too, that could be another hedge play for you guys. Let me get this out there, but it could be a push potential too, is Justin Turner. He has really, really great history against who's he going up against? Tyler Anderson. He has really good history against him. I think he has 7 against him. He has 7 extra base hits, and 3 of those 7 extra base hits is a home run. And he has only like 2 strikeouts or 3 strikeouts against him. So he's not striking out. He's putting the ball in play. He's giving you guys a chance to be able to hit these overs with just putting the ball in play and not just wasting at bat by striking out. So I really like him as well, but I didn't like him enough to make him an official play. But those are just hedge plays. You guys can throw those into cards. You know, it's just things that I've noticed and seen. So yeah, so those are my 2 picks for today. Jonathan India over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. Andrew Benintendi over 6.5 hitter fantasy score. So I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.